Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to another episode of Total War Arena. So, what have we got today? We are on the Tier 8 Carthaginian Swordsmen. The Insubres, maybe, is the pronunciation. So, I recently got these guys. It's the Carthage Infantry weekend at the moment, although it'll probably be a bit of a while before this video comes out. So, I was working last night, grinding hard through the Tier 7 Libyan Infantry, those heavy infantry. Frankly, are quite miserable. I was not particularly impressed with them as a heavy infantry. So I managed to work myself way through them and just get onto these Tier 8 barbarians, basically. And these guys are great. They're so much better than the Tier 7s. A lot of you said in the comments when I did my video on the Libyan Infantry how much you felt that these were better infantry and how much you thought I was going to enjoy them when I got onto them. And you were not wrong. These are much nicer. Considering I'm barely even very upgraded on these as well. You know, they're already just a huge improvement. So yeah, I've only got one upgrade, which is the sword, the blackened longsword. I've just been having a handful of games with these guys before I did a video on them. So, yeah, I only managed to get onto the longsword, but we've still got quite a bit to do to get the rest of the trousers, the upgraded shields. I might even go for the helmet, to be honest, because it does give quite a lot of body armor. Although it's probably not used anywhere else, is it? So maybe not. So yeah, so I've been enjoying them. What else is there to say about them? They are completely different to the Libyan infantry, really. So the Libyans are all about that heavy infantry. They were slow, quite good body armor values, quite good attack values. But, you know, very little mobility, useless in forests, anything like that. Any dodgy terrain, they just go to pieces. Yet these guys, these barbarian infantry, they're fast. They've got a good base movement speed, 4.3, winning them with my consumables. On top of the fact, obviously, as soon as you put force march on that, you're going to be getting into the 5s. You get like 5.3 or something like that. And we've still got like another 12% of movement speed modifiers to get yet with some of the equipment upgrades. So we've still got a long way to go. So yeah, they're completely different, and they're just lovely. They're just everything that barbarian infantry should be. I love the maneuverability. I love the hard-hitting nature, and obviously ad porters is just wonderful with these because that 75% weapon damage is just glorious. As soon as I got these guys, I used a good chunk of free XP just to get this stuff upgraded because I felt that this makes quite a big difference, particularly on ad porters. You know, the changes that it makes is quite significant, so I just went for that straight away. I'm not so bothered with a bit of acceleration on force march. That can come later on. So yeah, we're going to be having a couple of battles with these guys today. So that's all there is to say about them, really. Let's hop into a battle and see how we get on with them. So we are loading in on Oasis. Where am I going to go? Well, I'll spawn on this side. Obviously these are barbarian infantry, so they will benefit by being in a forest. But I am a little apprehensive by the lack of anything else down here with me. What's our team composition like? There's a couple of ranged units kicking around, so the enemy's probably going to have a similar sort of setup. Yeah, just got to be a bit careful we don't get caught out on our own. That's all would be my main concern. Because particularly now we've got cavalry. We've not really got any infantry support. I'm just going to hang here a couple of seconds just to see what everyone else seems like they're doing. Yeah, you see most of the rest of the stuff's pushing the centre. Looks like we might have some cavalry doing some scouting for us. So let's just put ourselves in the forest so we don't get spotted by anything and see what we're going to be coming up against. So some Germanicus legionaries already coming down this side. We stand some chance in fighting these if we can bait out their vengeance. But we don't really know if there's anything else in this long grass. We have nothing else here to support us. Oh, there's cavalry turning up. Cavalry obviously is AFK. Oh no, it was just a clever ploy. I'm just gonna, for this time being, I'm just gonna go straight into here. I'm gonna go straight in with, not vengeance, ad portus. I'm just very conscious of these Roman infantry. I've got an escape route out the back. I just wanted to see if I can get a bit of damage against some of these Romans' cavalry before the support turns up. But no, I really need to get out now. Let's pop our force march, get out of here before we take too many more casualties. I don't want to be getting into a prolonged fight with Roman infantry. Not in this sort of situation where it's not even possible to bait out their vengeance. I just want to be getting out of this fight. Those Romans look like they're chasing me for a bit. We didn't take too much damage there. We got a little bit of damage against some of that enemy tier 8 Italian noble cavalry, which is obviously good. But yeah, those Romans, not so good. If they had them, for example, in a nice open situation where I felt I could engage them, get them to activate vengeance, and then break contact, pull back, wait to disengage, and then re-engage them and activate my ad portus, then I would be happy to fight them. But on sort of unequal terms like this, it's not really something I want to be doing. So, from this situation, we're sort of immediately I'm thinking of sort of entering some sort of damage control. We have basically got significant forces starting to push now on our base, so I'm going to put a base warning in chat. We've got this cavalry kicking around, and it looks like our front line is about to get rear flanked here, which is going to make things pretty difficult for them. So, we could either push up and try and help the front line, because there's more enemy infantry there, or we need to loiter back to be thinking about trying to defend our base. There's some Italian nobles there. If they're going to be engaging me, I need to get that off. That's going to hurt. Ugh. Yeah, it did hurt quite a bit. Let's try and get a slam on them so they can't escape quite so easily. I'm just going to go straight for my ad portus again, which is the good thing about ad portus. It's a great cooldown time. We managed to get a rout on one of their units, look, which is now eliminated. So that's a really good start. If we can get this one before he goes into Oath of Perseverance, which we have, we should at least be able to get a good amount of damage on him. But now, we're in a bad formation. Come on, guys, let's get our force march on, because they might fly and column me. Let's just keep pulling back, keep out of this. Just trying to keep myself alive, keep myself in the game. Game's really going quite against us, so maybe we are going to have to think about making some more decisive moves soon, because currently we're not really racking up that many points. But I'm just keeping the base secure for now. You know, if I'd just gone completely the other way, which is what I kind of wanted to do, I think the base would have probably been capped out already. So I'm now just playing for time while my ad portus comes back. You know, it's only 50 seconds. It's not like Vengeance, as I say. It has that really good cooldown, particularly at this tier with these guys. So it gives me quite a few options. Of course, we don't know if these guys Vengeanced when they engaged our other cavalry down near the start. If they did, that makes quite a big difference to how we can fight this. So, we have a unit of Pontic archers, which hopefully are going to start to get some shots in. What's that enemy cavalry? Those archers are going to be in trouble before too long. That's Hannibal. Spearman, strange choice. Okay, going to be time to start thinking about making a move, isn't it? Those archers... Oh, that's friendly cavalry, but this Italian noble isn't. Not you two. You two go that way. Well, okay, you're engaged now. Keep you out at least. You can... Oh, he anviled me. Well played. Dear. Alright, let's just get stuck into one of these guys.
You are the best of the best.
We're not letting get a heavy charge off. So you lot be pulling back. They haven't at least immediately gone for vengeance. He's going to flank, that's fine, because I've got more reinforcements on the way. And push this unit wide and push you in, basically. Oh, heavy charge, he got his charge off. Not so good, because that's going to hurt me quite a lot. Come on. Multitasking.
War requires decisive action.
You need to be going for him. You need to be going for him. You need to be doing that. You need to be doing that. You need to be slamming as well. So yes, it's turning into a pretty unfavourable fight. Why have I still got that on? Turn a force march. Yeah, he has got vengeance activated. You see, that was the killer. Let's try and save this unit, maybe. We'll go for a slam, you see. So the slam gets the knockback. That's how you sort of get out of these fights without taking many casualties. You see, basically none of our troops got stuck there. But now we're going to get charged by this cavalry, maybe? No. Maybe we should have not got quite so stuck to him when he went to vengeance. It took me a while to realise he'd actually vengeanced himself. These Greeks are going to go for it. So let's clear this corner and turn off. Hopefully our cavalry can catch those guys. If they can. Maybe I can get them in a charge. Very slightly, but not really. Rear flank them. They might actually rout, but no, not before the times went out. I'm surprised the Blood Riders didn't keep on top of them, because they could have won that. But we are again being capped out, so let's try and get back towards our base. Oh, it's been a really bad game, this one, hasn't it? It's just been a bit of a tough one to try and keep things going. But that's, I guess, kind of where these units work well. They're kind of similar to barbarians. It's that continual harassment, that support role. Of course, we're now being hit by the enemy archers. Let's try and get stuck into this fight as soon as we can, so we're a bit safer from them. We'll go for the charge in. We get the rear flank. Go for our Our slam, try and get a bit of damage in. We're going to get our porters back very shortly. Let's get that activated as soon as we can. Obviously, they've lost their vengeance, so we'll do okay in this sort of fight, but we are now going to be rear flanked. We've not got much left, and my determination is certainly not going to be lasting forever. So we get a last bit of final damage in. We're just trying to see what I can do now for points. We'll get a few defensive points as well. But yeah, unfortunately, a lost battle. Our last couple of units. There's no point howling. It doesn't really give me any benefit. And there we go. And unfortunately, defeat on our first battle. So hopefully that gives a bit of an idea of how sometimes they play out. Because obviously, I know a lot of I normally film, or at least try and go for, not necessarily wins, but good games. That's probably a bit more of an average game for how I normally play. Just sort of constantly a bit on the defensive, trying to sort of get those opportunities, but they just don't always pan out. But sometimes, you know, it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of about fighting defensively. If things aren't going well, that's not a reason just to sort of suicide. You know, right at the start of those games when we caught those Roman tier Italian cavalry, we were fighting them, and then the Romans turned up. You know, it'd be very easy for me to just stick in that fight and fight to the death, because I would have lost because they've Romans would have vengeance, and I would have been defeated. But by pulling back, it sort of keeps you in the game. It keeps you, decapping. I kept them away from our base for much longer to give the team sort of an opportunity to sort of pull the battle back. Obviously, it didn't work out, but at least you sort of still have that opportunity. So, not suiciding sort of too early on can be pretty important. But anyway, let's hop into our second game, see if we can actually get a win out of this one. So, we are loading into our second battle on Romania. I guess for a start we'll just spawn in, and the centaur's a bit slow, so I've not really got a pick of the spot, so I've not really got a lot of choice. We could conceivably push a bit further up to the north, but I don't think I'm going to. We've got quite a few infantry units and a little bit of ranged here with us in the centre. Obviously, being in the forest is no bad thing for us, so I'll just push up there for the start. Oops. Oh dear, that formation rearrangement didn't go very well, did it? That's very uneven, but it will do. So what have we got opposing us? Some Romans. We've got quite a lot of stuff here, to be honest. Everyone's just going to go for it. I think that'll be a benefit to us. We're just going to rush them. I will take that. Looks like we kind of are, to be honest. Are these all joined together? No. It's just sort of a solo play where everyone's just going for it. Do it. So we've got some enemy cavalry over there. As long as our archers stay with us, that's okay for me. I may try and flush into this forest here to see if I can flush anything out. Yeah, you'll go through that gap. I'm not force marching at the moment. I know you might have noticed that, but mostly because I don't want to get too far ahead of the rest of the team. There's no real need for a rush at the moment. I'm assuming those cavalry are going to move in a second. We'll force march there just in case. Never know. They're moving back just in case. Every now and then you catch cavalry players who aren't paying any attention and get a few extra points out of it. I assume again this guy's. Let's just keep this guy. Unless these spearmen want to come for me in the forest. Surely they're not just going to go. I don't know. They're not on their own. I mean, this must be bait. Okay, multitasking. Come on, rat. Let's get our force march back on and quickly get these guys up and chasing enemy cavalry. I'm going to get hit here. I'm going to go for a charge. Oh, that's a bit of a painful hit. I want to kill this spear unit. No sense in letting it escape, particularly when we've got it routed. Come on, we've got so many of them knocked down. Surely we can finish off these last people. We are taking a few casualties from that cavalry to do it, but surely, come on guys, let's just kill them. Well, that's just a spear unit out of the game. It's really quite an easy kill apart from that cav harassing me slightly. Not quite sure what he was thinking. When you can catch units on your own with these guys, as with all barbarians, you know, it's perfect because you can put your damage down so easily. Again, same sort of thing. Just check this cavalry is paying attention. It doesn't look like he is. As I was saying at the start, sometimes you can catch cavalry in good situations, and look at that charge damage. Slam, he is absolutely had it. Look at that, free kill by someone not paying attention. That's why you should always take these opportunities if you can. That was easy kill. No damage taken really, and we just claimed a whole unit of enemy cavalry. Good. The battle is pretty close, pretty touch and go. So let's push down this forest. We want to be trying to keep our forces, I think, at the moment concentrated in one area, because that means we're winning the battles sort of easily where we are most concentrated. So there's some enemy cleavers there, there's Romans, and then a unit of armoured legionaries, veteran legionaries, sorry, defending the entrance to the base. So let's push down, see if we can get some flanking moments on these. It's going to go for a charge, just to gain a bit of extra ground since we're in the open. If these guys want to come forward, that would be lovely, but it doesn't look like they should. These Romans are presumably vengeanced, although they're not currently. We may take a volley of missile fire shortly. Ugh, yeah, we did. So they have now vengeanced. Are we still going to try and go for this? I think we will. Because I'm going to try and get the flanks. Just focusing on this. GH. Who is the one who is routing? You? We're not all focusing the same person. That's part of the problem. Someone hasn't got vengeance and hasn't got that activated either. So make sure we're focusing on the same guy. There we go. Okay, we've got a rout on one of them. Although, to be honest, it doesn't really matter. They're just being absolutely cut to pieces anyway. Let's get there. There we go. Getting the flanks on the rest of these just to kill them off. And now we're really starting to tip the battle in our favour. That's kind of what I wanted to do. That's what I was thinking about doing. See if we can get over to these guys before our ad portus goes off. Because it would be nice to make the most of it. Even though this guy is vengeance, so we've got to be careful. We can at least get a flank on him, which will reduce his morale enough to not be turn that off. Because obviously if you have really high morale, you get confident like this, and you get a plus 10% melee attack and a bit of extra melee defense as well. How are we winning, losing compared to the vengeance fight? It's pretty equal. And there we go, that should be the end of those guys as well. And then I think, to be honest, this is going to be a case of pushing hard into their cap, because it's still a pretty close game and we've got nothing defending our base. So come on, let's just get into the cap circle. I think would be the wise thing to do. Not the most exciting. Oops. Slightly miss caps locked that. But see if we can get the rest of our team to cap. Because it's still a pretty close game. If this game was a lot closer, if they had 100 points, say, or we had a unit or two back at our base, then, see, I would be happy to not cap out. But with the situation as it is, I think we want to be capping out. So they have got these units of pikemen here. And they've got another one coming in, which is a bit more dangerous. I'm more inclined provisionally to try and play for time. I don't think this unit's going to get here in time. Let's just avoid them, please. Just avoid them. Don't need to fight like that. Please don't fight them. Don't run into the front of a pike. Don't run into the front of a pike. Don't run into the front of a pike. There we go. There we go. And there we go. I really thought that Roman player was just going to run into the front of that pike then. But thankfully he didn't. And that gets us the game. Yeah, not the most exciting finish, obviously. I'm not a huge fan of just going for the cap. But in situations like that when, you know, it's a really tight game, particularly when you've got nothing to defend in your base, you know, you really do need to get in that cap and get in there quickly if you want to be winning that game. And I do want to win. So how did that go? Not so bad, sort of just a middling sort of game. 2000 aggression. But kind of hopefully how it shows how these guys can just sort of work those opportunities. That's why I feel they excel, because they're just a barbarian infantry in essence. It's their speed that makes them nice. You know, like that unit of spearmen. I don't know what that person was thinking, just running one unit of spearmen in front of me. But in essence, you know, that allows me to attack with my 3 units in separate to get a complete surrounding and just get a flank on them, catch them and rout them. You know, they get the slam, so it's perfect for stopping people from running away particularly quickly. And now that since we had the changes on False March, permanently stays on until you choose to turn it off now. When a unit routs like that, you can just stick your Force March on, and these guys go up to like 5.4 movement speed, something like that. You're going to be much faster than a routing unit, so yeah, it's really easy to keep up with units like that and just kill them off. And that's sort of where they excel, that sort of defeating detail. Same as barbarian infantry. Yeah, these guys are barbarians, yet they get a mini vengeance. And it's not even that mini vengeance. That 75% melee weapon damage increase is a significant amount. And just the glorious thing about it is the fact that 100-second cooldown is just lovely, because by the time it turns off in 60 seconds, which is most fights, then you know, it's already ready to restart again anyway. So it just means in any fight you get into, like those spearmen, you know, it's only one unit. If you're a Roman player, it would be not wise really to activate a vengeance or that sort of thing, because that would be your vengeance for the game, and you've used it all on just one unit of spearmen. But these, pop it, no reason not to, because the time I finished with those spearmen and got back to the next fight, it had already recharged. So that's why I think Ad Portus is just such an awesome ability. And particularly with these guys with their manoeuvrability and flexibility, it just makes them absolutely amazing. So hopefully that's an interesting couple of battles. Not my proudest battles ever by any stretch of the imagination, but kind of a bit interesting and shows a bit of the flexibility perhaps of these guys. So if you've enjoyed it, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll certainly be revisiting these guys once I've got them fully upgraded, because there's quite a lot of, if nothing else, movement speed buffs. There's a +8, so we're going to get 12% more movement speed on top of this, so we're going to be getting well into the high 4s. Plus we've got some shield and some extra armor upgrades and stuff like that, so it's going to make them quite a lot tougher, I think, by the end. So we'll probably be revisiting them. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please, please, please subscribe to the channel for lots more Total War Arena content, and I shall see you all in the next video.